What's up, y'all? Knight's Edge here again. Got a little review for you of the Civivi Vision FG pocket knife. Got this one, I believe, off of Amazon. Yeah, I think I got it off of Amazon a while back. It was actually the budget knife of the year for a lot of content creators. People in the knife community loved it. Everybody loved it. Had a bigger brother, older brother, I guess you could say. The Vision R, the Wii knives version of it, came out first a year or so ago, and the Vision FG was kind of like Civivi's budget offering because everyone loved like the locking mechanism on that one so much, I believe. So Civivi decided to come out with a budget version of that, and they nailed it. It's absolute home run of a knife. Great, great knife for the price. Um, let's see. We'll go ahead and go through the general specs, size comparisons, all that stuff. Also, before I get into that, I don't think I mentioned this is a Snex design, which Snex has designed some pretty cool knives. This is probably the best and latest hit out of Snex. So a lot more to come from that particular designer, I'm sure, but that's an absolute home run in my book. Anyway, go ahead and do size comparisons here before I start rambling on and on. Spyderco Paramilitary 2, that's a full-size knife. And here's its little brother, Spyderco Para 3. So, full-on lengthwise, it's closer to the Paramilitary 2 than the Para 3. But, not really too much more of a presence. Definitely both of those knives with the broader blades have more of a presence than the Vision FG does, I would say. This is the Doug Ritter RSK MK1 Ritter Hogue, and here is the Hogue Deca. So I'd say like overall it's only maybe a quarter of an inch shy total from the overall length of the RSK MK1. But surprisingly, with the butt of this one, I guess it's not too far off from that either. Cutting edge is about the same with those two. Not too much difference. The FG, Civivi Vision FG, is what I would call a full-size knife. Not a small mini knife or anything by any means. Here's the Demco 80-20.5. That's the last size comparison I'll do. Also, the reason that I had this one, I mean, it's fairly similar in size. The cutting edge on the Vision FG has a lot more than the Demco 80-20.5, but the shark lock that's on the Demco 80-20.5 is more of the reason why that I took the 80-20.5 and decided to put it on the video. It's got a lot of similarities with the Vision FG as far as the locking mechanism goes. Whenever you look at it, the Vision FG has got the top slide lock up here. It's I think the Civivi company calls it the super lock, and the Demco has got what they call the shark lock, which is accessed the same way along the spine up here. So there's a lot of similarities between the two with the locking mechanisms. A little bit of a difference between them also, the way they actually work. But overall, the way that they lock out is pretty similar. This is not a copy of this, and this isn't a copy of this. Nothing like that. They both have their own unique differences, but they're similar enough, I'd say, just to be able to bring that to you guys' attention while you're watching the video. Anyway, put that up. Go ahead and do tape measure here. Put a tape on it. Overall, Vision FG, you're sitting right at under 8 inches, 7 and 15/16 overall. Cutting edge is sitting right at 3 1/8, and overall blade length, you're sitting at 3 and right at 3 3/4, 3 5/8, 3 3/4. Go ahead and do calipers. Where are the calipers at? Turn on the calipers here, do the stock thickness of it. 123 thousandths on the spine. Thickness behind the edge, it's got a really nice hollow grind on it. Goes down to 27 thousandths. Not the sliciest thing ever made, but pretty good slicer. Not too thick a blade stock, and then hollow grind goes from the top, goes all swedges all the way down the whole way, and almost I don't know, I mean, it's not a full flat by any means, but I don't know, it's a really good hollow grind. That's good for slicing. Thumb stud activated. That's your means of deployment right there. Works great. But also you got the super lock. You can open it like that. You can do the reverse flick with the thumb studs like that. Super lock. There's just, this is like a knife fidget person's dream, I guess. Very easy one-handed means of deployment. Practicality wise, you know, if you're looking not just for somebody that collects and plays around with knives like me, I guess, practically, you know, I mean, this is a great knife, great utility knife, great work knife, you know, I mean, you take it out of your pocket, take it out, do your cut, put it back in the pocket, one-handed open and close, easy peasy, quick. You know, I've probably flicked this one a few hundred times at least. Hasn't failed, hasn't had any signs of the lock failing or not locking up solid, anything like that. Go ahead and take the spine whiteboard here just in case. Taking a page out of G-Ball's channel. If you're not subscribed to G-Ball Vision, y'all need to go over there and subscribe right now, because he's got some pretty good knife content. Safety first, put on these cut impact resistant gloves. Make sure we got this thing locked out good. Nothing. No failure. Doesn't move. Perfectly solid. I gave it some more than reasonable spine wax for a everyday carry knife. Perfect for doing a lot of things with. Food prep, slicing open boxes, draw cuts. You got a really good finger choil right there. And that Warncliffe, I guess you could call it a Warncliffe blade shape, kinda. I don't know. Kind of an odd blade shape. Reverse Tonto, Warncliffe, whatever you want to call it. It's got a little bit of a belly right there, but the lines are pretty symmetrical. Got a really good forward finger choil right there. You can choke up on it. No jimp in there. I mean, that would be kind of good, but I mean, the edges are kind of rounded off enough on the back of the spine where it doesn't hurt your thumb. But you can do a lot of laying stuff out, draw cuts, puncturing, stabbing stuff, cutting rope. It's all around, it's a pretty good knife for a lot of tasks, and very highly recommendable on a lot of different fronts. The action's great on this thing. I'm looking at it right now. Looks like it's got washers and bearings in there, so that's what it runs on. I can definitely see phosphor bronze washers in there. Get the camera to focus here. Get my flashlight. Where's the flashlight at? Whenever you need it. See it? Definitely see the phosphor bronze in the washers there. I think it's got bearings on it too. Good action, great action overall. I've taken this thing apart and put it back together. So it's a little stiff. I don't know if I said it wrong or not wrong, but I don't know. I took it apart, put it back together, oiled it. There's a little spring in there that activates that. That activates this to open up, and once the little notch on the blade slides to where it's supposed to be, this locks into place, and it's solid as I showed you a little bit ago until you pull that back, and that goes down. It loosens up based on use, so the more you fidget with it, the more you open and close it, the smoother and easier to get to open and close it. Contouring G10 is really nice. It's contoured around the edges, typical Civivi. The G10 is it feels a little bit thick. Honestly, the handle feels a little thick to me. I guess that's one downside I could think of with this knife. But not too much so. I mean, it provides you with a pretty good grip there, and honestly, with the Vision R looking a lot thinner, that would probably be my preference. Anyway, looking at it, you got the typical Civivi pocket clip, which is actually Metal Complex, I think, says it all the time, but he hates that pocket clip. Also, I really don't like the pocket clip myself. Deep carry is good, but that bill right there sticks out so much that it comes at like a little double 45 degree going out and over. So when you put it in your pocket, you still got that. Well, let me get the pants pocket here, show you guys. You put it in your pocket, perfectly great deep carry, but when you're walking around, still, even though it's in your pocket, that's coming off of the pant material there, so you got that sticking up, just grabbing, and it's fairly insignificant until you walk by something. And I actually did have this happen not too long ago, and it grabs right there. It'll try to pull the knife out of your pocket, or it'll kind of stop you as you're walking, really, even. But they do sell aftermarket clips. You can get an aftermarket clip for, I think, about $10 on Amazon, which I'm probably going to end up doing that with this one. Let's see. We did the measurements, size comparison. Last thing I got here is the weight. We'll do the weight on it. It's not really a heavy knife. I'm not 100% sure on the weight, actually. Just guessing. If I had to guess, I'd say right at, I don't know, maybe right at about 3.8 ounces, maybe. Oh, wow, I was way off. 4.4 ounces. So if you go ounce and inch, it's a little heavier. Hits a little higher than its weight class, you know, but not too bad. Not by any means an extraordinarily heavy knife, and it doesn't have titanium or a lot of metal on it, so it doesn't feel, that doesn't add to the feeling of heaviness. You know the knife's there when you're carrying it, but it's not clunky. So just, I'd say as far as weight goes alone, it's about an average carry. This is AA RPM 9, I believe. Let's see, what is the blade steel on this? Nitro V. I was off. You can kind of see it right there. I was wrong about that. It's Nitro V blade steel. Nitro V is a pretty decent blade steel. It's a budget steel. Only really see it on Civivis. I'm not 100% sure if it's proprietary, if they own the rights to it or not. But Nitro V is not a bad steel. It's held an edge fairly decently. And I've used the heck out of this knife. I've sharpened it too, so it's definitely been resharpened by me, and a 17 degree edge angle. It's handled up pretty good. It's held an edge, not as crazy as anything like 15V, K390, or even S35, but or Magna Cut, but it's held an edge really good, especially for the cost. And this thing's I don't know if I mentioned the price or not. This thing's hitting around I think right around 75 bucks, 75, 80 bucks right now. They come in Ultim, they come with micarta handles, they come all blacked out with G10 and the coating like this one is. So there's a few different variants out there of it. It's pretty readily available. It's not really like something that goes out of stock too much, I don't think. And that's thanks to Civivi's massive Chinese manufacturing capability. But that's not really so much of a negative anymore in the knife world when you're talking about a Chinese made knife. 15, 20 years ago, Chinese made knife, that was, that's like something you get at a gas station on the way home from a job or something like that. But nowadays, a Chinese made knife means a totally different thing than what it did then. Chinese manufacturing in a lot of ways has eclipsed American manufacturing, and I hate saying that as an American myself who prefers manufacturing to be done in my home country. But Chinese manufacturing is definitely getting much, much better, and their labor costs are much, much lower. So you can put something like this out that does actually have the quality that Americans are looking for when they buy a pocket knife. Overall, Civivi Vision FG, I would highly recommend this knife, especially if you've only got like 75, 80 bucks to spend on a knife. This would probably be the one that I would get. I'd have to really think about that to change my mind on that. But 75, 80 bucks, yeah, this is probably, to me, your best bet. It's got checks all the boxes. It's got ease of manipulation down, fidget friendly, great means of deployment, comfortable in hand, ergonomics are great, slices well. Blade steel is not super budgety or anything like that. Downsides, I'd say, is a little bit clunky in the hand whenever you're kind of comparing it to its older brother. For me, not so much, but I could see how that could be a downside for some people. And also the pocket clip. The Civivi pocket clip could probably go away forever, and the world would be a better place for that. I think that's about it. Can't think of anything else to tell you guys. Let me go ahead and, while I'm thinking about it, before I end this, I'll go ahead and do a hardware check on this. This is a T6. It's T6. Check out the pocket clips. Yeah, pocket clip screws are T6. It is ambidextrous, so that's also a good thing. If you're left-handed, you can take that, put it on this side just as well. It's not tip up, tip down, but really, this is the way to carry this is tip up. But with that lock being as accessible as it is in the middle for left-handed people just as much as a right-handed person, the fact that this is ambidextrous, just like a lot of Civivi's knives, is a good thing. It's a set pivot, so it's a captive pivot, which is a good thing also. You don't have to worry about it spinning out whenever you're trying to take this thing apart. And let's do the pivot size real quick. I think it's a T8, but I want to make sure. That's a T8 right there. Check the T10 just to be 100% on it. Yeah, that's a T8. So T8 pivot, T6, T6 hardware everywhere else, and it has minimal hardware too on it, which is another good thing. Pocket clip screws, pivot. That's about it. Yeah, that's a T8 also. That's another screw, set screw in there. So Great design, great knife. Kind of groundbreaking right now, really, in the knife community, especially being on such the budget that it's on. You know, great steel, and it's also very useful. So all around, this is to me a highly recommendable great knife. The Civivi Vision FG. You can pick it up on Amazon, Knife Center, Blade HQ, pretty much anywhere that sells Civivi knives, and a lot of places do. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Knight's Edge again. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.